Right now, you're probably sitting in complete safety. No predator is hiding outside your home. No pair of eyes is tracking every movement, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. That feeling seems completely normal, but for almost all of human history, it was anything but. For millions of years, your ancestors lived in a world where becoming someone's next meal wasn't a rare accident. It was an everyday possibility. Every trip to a river, every walk through tall grass, every night spent sleeping carried the risk of death, and the animal responsible for killing the greatest number of our ancient relatives probably isn't the one most people imagine. Ask almost anyone what predator killed the most ancient humans, and you'll hear familiar answers. Lions, saber-toothed cats, maybe even giant bears, large, powerful predators that dominate documentaries and movies. But the fossil evidence tells a far more surprising story. Ironically, the deadliest predator in our evolutionary history may not have been the largest one at all. To understand why, it's worth starting with the predators that definitely hunted early humans, but probably weren't responsible for the highest death toll. Crocodiles were among the earliest dangers. Millions of years ago, early hominins living across East Africa depended on rivers and lakes for drinking water. But every visit to the water's edge carried a hidden risk. Crocodiles had already perfected the same hunting strategy they use today. Absolute patience followed by explosive violence. Several fossil sites contain hominin bones marked with puncture wounds that closely match crocodile bites, suggesting ambush attacks near ancient rivers. They were deadly, but they were also predictable. Avoid the river, and the danger largely disappeared. Hyenas represented a different kind of threat. Unlike crocodiles, they roamed the landscape. Excavations in caves across Africa have uncovered hominin bones bearing unmistakable chew marks left by powerful hyena jaws. Modern hyenas are skilled pack hunters capable of overwhelming surprisingly large prey, and ancient species were no different. Young individuals, older adults, the injured, anyone unable to keep pace could quickly become a target. Yet even hyenas seem to have been opportunistic more than specialized human hunters. They were dangerous, but they weren't the dominant predator shaping our evolutionary story. Then comes one of the strangest discoveries ever made in paleoanthropology. In 1924, scientists uncovered the skull of a young Australopithecus africanus at Taung, South Africa. The fossil, later known as the Taung child, puzzled researchers for decades. Its skull contained unusual punctures and scratches unlike anything previously documented. Eventually, scientists reached an astonishing conclusion. The child hadn't been killed by a land predator at all. The damage perfectly matched the talons of a giant eagle. Somewhere nearly 3 million years ago, a massive bird of prey likely swooped down, seized the child, carried the victim into the sky, and fed on the body much like modern crowned eagles still hunt monkeys today. It remains one of the clearest pieces of evidence showing that early humans were once prey from above as well as below. Of course, the famous big cats were also present. Ancient lions, saber-toothed cats, other large felines. There is little doubt they killed hominins whenever opportunities arose. The problem is evidence. Large cats often consume or scatter their prey so completely that very little remains for scientists to identify millions of years later. Without distinctive bite marks preserved on bone, many attacks simply disappear from the fossil record. But one predator left behind exactly the evidence researchers needed. During the 1970s, South African paleontologist Bob Brain examined a fossil known as SK54 from Swartkrans Cave. The skull belonged to Paranthropus robustus, one of our close evolutionary relatives. 2 puncture marks appeared on the back of the skull. Brain compared the spacing with the teeth of different predators. The result was remarkably specific. The punctures matched the lower canine teeth of an ancient leopard. The attack resembled what modern leopards still do today. A silent ambush, a powerful bite to the skull or neck, then dragging the victim into a tree or secluded location before feeding. This single fossil transformed how scientists viewed our ancestors. For years, many researchers imagined early hominins as dominant hunters gradually conquering the landscape. Instead, the evidence suggested something much humbler. For long stretches of evolution, our ancestors weren't the hunters. They were the hunted. And SK-54 was almost certainly not an isolated incident. Leopards are perfectly designed to hunt primates. They move almost silently. They attack without warning. They rely on surprise instead of prolonged chases. Even today, baboons remain one of their preferred prey animals across Africa. Recent studies using AI-assisted analysis of fossil bite marks have strengthened this picture. Researchers identified repeated leopard attack patterns across multiple fossil sites and across different hominin species separated by vast spans of time. The same predator, the same hunting strategy, again and again and again. Taken together, the evidence points toward an unsettling conclusion. Among all confirmed predators identified in the fossil record, leopards appear to have been the most consistent killers of early human ancestors over millions of years. Not lions, not saber-toothed cats, a predator small enough to fit inside the bed of a pickup truck. Yet that isn't the end of the story, because at some point everything changed. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer societies, including the Hadza of Tanzania, the Juhwanzi of the Kalahari, and the Hiwi of Venezuela, have documented causes of death in communities that still preserve aspects of humanity's traditional lifestyle. The results are almost the complete opposite of what the deep fossil record suggests. Among the Hadza, snake bites account for only a tiny percentage of recorded deaths. Among the Hiwi, despite living alongside jaguars, caimans, and other dangerous wildlife, researchers documented no confirmed deaths from predator attacks during the study period. Instead, entirely different threats dominate: disease, infection, conflict between people. Depending on the population, illness accounted for between roughly 20 and 85% of deaths. In some groups, violence from other humans caused more fatalities than every wild predator combined. So what changed? Fire pushed predators back into the darkness. Better weapons shifted the balance of power. Larger social groups meant more eyes scanning the landscape, more ears listening, and more people ready to defend one another. Generation after generation, humans slowly stopped being easy prey. The leopard didn't disappear. Humans simply became too dangerous to hunt regularly, which means the answer to the question depends entirely on which chapter of human evolution you're talking about. If you travel back millions of years, when early hominins were small, poorly armed, and vulnerable, the strongest fossil evidence points toward leopards as their deadliest confirmed predator. But if you move closer to the emergence of fully modern hunter-gatherers, wild animals fade into the background. Invisible pathogens replace visible predators, and eventually, humans themselves become humanity's greatest threat. Perhaps that's the most remarkable transformation of all. Your ancestors spent millions of years fearing what waited in the shadows. Today, most people walk through forests without ever looking into the trees above, because somewhere along the way, evolution reversed the relationship. The hunter became the hunted, and the hunted quietly became the species every other predator learned to avoid. So the next time you imagine prehistoric life, don't picture a roaring lion charging across an open plain. Picture something far more unsettling: a leopard resting silently on a branch overhead, invisible, patient, watching every step below, waiting for the one moment when no one remembers to look up.